Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are continuing to hope that the contingency pushes through the Star Dynasty quickly enough that we can get in here, hopefully this episode, but if they don't, that's fine too. We're continuing to constructionate our way up through here, and we're making pretty good time up here. And also, all of our sectors are just doing huge amounts of work settling all sorts of things. This sector, I think, is actually done with settling planets, and is now just going to be developing them. There's a lot of worlds. Of course, there's the Mystery sector over here, which it is not completed yet. That's, it's got a long ways to go, shall we say. And then, of course, there is this one over here that we just vastly expanded last episode, and it has a lot of worlds to settle as well. But we're actually getting pretty close to a victory condition, aren't we? Let's check the situation log here. We are, actually. It's not possible to win during an ongoing galactic crisis, though. Okay, good to know. We're probably going to end up going for the conquest victory. As I've said, I've never really gotten to the end game of Stellaris before, so I don't know if you achieve the domination victory, if it's possible to keep going if you want to take the conquest victory. I would assume it is. Because if so, it would be very difficult to do the conquest victory without also achieving the domination victory. At any rate, we're going for the conquest victory, so it won't take too much longer, actually. Once we have the contingency under control, then we can just turn our attention on these two federations, grind them into dust, call it a day. That's all it'll take, pretty much. Okay, Short, you need to build mining stations. Come on up to Mendoc. Man, it's suddenly really quite laggy. I wonder if there is some sort of a big engagement going on somewhere? It's a possibility, I suppose. Looks like they've got an army coming in to land on Nugan. Good for them. This construction ship needs to constructionate. Hang on a moment. Oh, right. Curenza, okay. For a second there, I was thinking this was us, and that this was actually outside of our borders, but nope. That is certainly not the case. Come on up to Mendoc. Actually, you're going to Mendoc next. So, I want you then to make your way up. Well, we're grabbing the Scod system next. Make your way up to Brocken. We want to grab up here. And we want... The Scod system is going to open up a number of things to us, so we just want to allow that to happen. Primarily. And then as far as this goes, I mean, we're basically just waiting here for them to punch a hole through the Ugarlic Star Dynasty. There's also complete. This here that they've never settled. I think there's some sort of a thing there. Hey, build a mining station. And then build a starbase at Banago. Okay. Well, I mean, it is kind of a quiet time for us right now, even if the rest of the galaxy is, you know, kind of cowering in fear and failing horribly. But we are having a nice, peaceful economic time. We're settling a lot of worlds, and we're just generally doing a lot of really good things economically. And even though we're constantly capped in our minerals and energy credits, that's okay. Increasing our monthly gain is still going to be very useful when we start throwing our fleets into this. Being able to get back up to this point very quickly is going to help a lot. Are you actually going to land this time? The answer appears to be no. They do not appear interested in landing on Nugan for some inexplicable reason. You'd think I would be able to contact the Star Dynasty here and be like, look, let me walk through two systems That's all I need, and I'll come in and crush the contingency. There's no problem. But no, they don't trust us for some reason.
We have claimed a new world.
Apparently because we're genocidal and there's some border friction and we have claims on them, they're xenophobic. We have 881 threat against them. We have closed borders, and we're also murder machines, so they don't seem to like us much. And now I feel bad. How dare they? Totally rude. Ugh. Why are we gaining 43 food? Why are we gaining 43 food? Is that coming from a sector? Let's see here. Plus 40 from the Celestial Throne sector. Plus 2 from the Valian sector. Or Valen sector. And then... Are we gaining food from one of our worlds? Because that's only 42. That is not 43. Nope. I mean, I do want you to respect tile resources, but feel free to get rid of food. I think they just haven't redeveloped the tiles yet. Like, that's probably just tiles that they haven't even developed yet, because some of our older sectors, like, for example, the Zanami sector, isn't producing any food, despite having a million planets. So I think that's all there is to that. We're going to go ahead and chill in the Brocken system here with the ESS Fabricator 7 for a little bit, while we finish up our development of this station in Skod. But that'll be done right about, well, very, very soon. Right about now. There we go. And now it costs half the amount of influence. There we go. Build mining stations here, and then head to the Atlas system. Fantastic. Wonder if it's an AS-7D. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Atlas as a mech. Sure, it's big and heavily armored, and you can put a lot of guns on it, but it's so slow, and the guns, like the hardpoints that an Atlas has, are kind of mediocre, all things considered. And Atlases tend to have a pretty awkward spread between short and long-range weaponry that, like, a lot of times people put, like, a Gauss and an AC-20 on it. And I'm just like, oh, I either get close or stay back. Pick one. Okay, got that off my chest. I don't like Atlases. They're also really, really slow. I think I mentioned that.
Construction complete.
I mean, sure, they're the biggest assault mech that there is, but all things considered... I mean, they're the biggest assault mech that there is in most games. Some games have other 100-tonners, like I believe the King Crab is a 100-tonner. Some games have a later time period where, like, the Ares is the biggest mech at 110 tons, but that mech only kind of exists. It's like quasi-canonical. It's got 3 legs and 2 pilots, and it's weird. Why am I talking about Battletech in a Stellaris game anyway? I don't know. I kind of feel like I shouldn't be. Maybe not the target audience for this particular show. Although, I don't know. Maybe you are the target audience. Maybe you like the Battletech playthroughs as well. In which case, boy howdy. I mean, it's already live by now. But boy howdy, this week's Mech Commander got a little interesting. Those missions were certainly on the evil side. I failed them like 3 times in a row. 4 times in some... Well, no. I didn't fail that mission 4 times in a row. That was the... Sorry about that. Had a bit of a sneeze there. I didn't fail that mission 4 times in a row. That was the one where you have to take the artillery and put it up on the ridgeline. I failed it 0 times. The first time I succeeded, but I hated the outcome and discovered that it was just a really bad way that I had done it, and I wanted to redo it. So I redid it. And the second time, I had some really bad RNG and lost links in the first engagement due to a heavy autocannon to the face. So that was awkward, and so I didn't have to, But I decided to redo that one as well because, I mean, it's Mech Commander. That kind of thing happens, and the game was designed to replay missions when that kind of thing happens. But then the third time, it went perfectly, entirely smoothly, except that I was filming it like this, zoomed in the center of the screen. Aw, yeah, look at that. Not like this, like this. Truly glorious. Okay, that's enough of that. We are back to our normal. So then I recorded it again after that, and it went fine again, so... We're back to our normal view here in Stellaris, correct? Correct. Okay, that's enough of Mech Commander story time. All of these are really expensive.
Complete.
And they're all pretty crappy. We'll just go for that. Excellent.
Construction complete.
Okay, we have multiple construction ships that need to be constructionating. Go ahead and build there. Whoa, now. You go ahead and build here. You go ahead and build here. That was exciting. Okay, build here. And now you build here. Okay, we're good. Fantastic. So we're just gonna keep pushing on up here. We're actually almost done with that. We're catching up pretty quickly with our science ship, but we do have a fair number of systems up this way that we have surveyed. And we're gonna go down to 2 construction ships here pretty soon if we don't open up an avenue over here. Although it looks like they're finally starting to push out. If they take Indamia over here, we should probably move a construction ship in. And I think they might be heading there. Entering orbit of Burga. Oh, okay. They're still working on this. For some reason. Oh man, whatever. These fleets are waiting for construction ships. If I know how they're playing this. I'm like 95% certain that's what's happening there.
Our pioneers
so that's fine.
Have made planetfall.
We're now up to 578 fleet cap.
Recon pass completed.
Which is interesting. Once we get a little bit higher, we could maybe think about going over our naval cap and starting up a 3rd fleet. Well, let's toss another 30k at the Mishri sector. That'll keep them busy for another 10 years. Wow. Not really 10 years, but... not long at all, actually.
Construction complete.
There we go. This construction ship finished up at Rubiz. Let's have you build a mining station here, and then come back to here. To Dwitham. I want to be in position to grab Damia if the contingency pushes out. I suspect that they will.
Construction complete.
But there we go.
We have claimed a new world.
And the fabricator here needs to build a mining station, and then we're going to grab this system because it opens up access to both Lezath and Sidr. Excellent. The survey ship over here is definitely falling behind, but it is running out of systems to survey as well. Pretty soon, like once we've surrounded the hive over here, which will be a while because we haven't surveyed these 2 systems. So, yeah. Once we've cut off the hive over here, or they've expanded to these 2 systems, then we'll go down to probably 3 construction ships for now. Hey, look, there's their construction ship coming in, the contingencies, that is. They're definitely making progress up this way, and down this way. It's just not very rapid.
Construction complete.
I really wish they would push out this way, because I want to get fighting them. I'm kind of chafing here. It'd be very, very nice if I could fight them. Unfortunately, that doesn't really seem to be an option currently. So instead, we will continue doing what we're doing.
Has been secured for our colonists.
And we're settling a lot of worlds. We still have a lot in the mystery sector up here, but That's fine. We are settling roughly 1 million worlds. I am interested to see what exactly happens when we get this domination victory, because I'm relatively certain that we are going to get this domination victory before we get the conquest victory. But before that can happen, we have to deal with the contingency. We are the only faction that can deal with the contingency. Everyone else is just crumbling before them. But we have proven that we can beat them, not once, not twice, but thrice. And we'll do it again. And again. And then they'll be beaten, because I looked up on the wiki how this progresses. So, once we take out this world here, their home world will spawn. And then we'll need to take out their home world, and that will finish off the contingency once and for all. They do have 3 fleets up here. Which, if all of those fleets were together, they could beat us. Briefly. And then we'd rebuild our fleets. And then we'd probably get beaten again. Briefly. And then we'd rebuild our fleets, and then we'd win. Because we definitely outproduce. There's no one in this galaxy that produces more than us. Well, we got Yel Barasta surveyed over this way. That is excellent.
Construction complete.
Hey! Go ahead and grab the research here. And then the mining. And then, there we go. So, we are actually coming pretty close to a close on this Stellaris campaign. This is probably going to last, what, maybe... I don't know, maybe 10, maybe 20 more episodes, something along those lines. I don't know exactly how fast we'll be able to grind the rest of the galaxy into dust under our heel, but it should be relatively quickly once we actually start pushing into the contingency over here. It all hinges on pushing into the contingency, but assuming that they actually give us an avenue in, then we should be just fine. So yeah, 10, maybe 20 episodes left, and I've actually already decided on what's going to follow up Stellaris. It's going to be, shall we say, interesting. But I have decided I have never beaten the StarCraft campaigns. StarCraft 1, well, technically it's going to be StarCraft Remastered, and StarCraft 2. I've never beaten the campaigns in any of those. Well, I've beaten the Terran and the Zerg campaign in StarCraft 2. But I've never beaten any of the campaigns in StarCraft 1. So, my plan is to play StarCraft from beginning to end. StarCraft 1 Remastered, Brood War Remastered, StarCraft 2, all of the campaigns. And then probably also the Nova Missions DLC in StarCraft 2. It should be exciting because I'm terrible at StarCraft. But I'm sure I'll get better over the course of it and figure out how exactly that game works. I don't know yet what difficulty I'll be playing on. It kind of depends. I might increase the difficulty as we go through if the game is too easy. That might be something that I do. I don't know yet. So this construction ship is supposed to be here and doing nothing. It is in place to be able to build in Damia the moment we can. It looks like they are currently going into Ranction, which means that they may go to Shukon, and if they go to Shukon, then we're also good. They don't seem to be too interested in actually taking this planet. They just put fleets in orbit and then don't attack. So I don't think they're going to attack in Nugon. So let's go ahead and move our construction ship over to Acheron. And then let's move our second fleet also to Acheron, so that we can just push in extremely quickly down this avenue. And then we can constructionate here, and then we have a guaranteed path to the contingency. That's kind of the goal. Since they don't seem too interested in actually attacking Nugon, although maybe they will if this construction ship comes in, but I don't think they can build it unless they actually take Berga.
System reconnaissance completed.
I don't know what they're waiting for. I really don't. But it looks like this is going to be the avenue that they're going to take. Assuming they go from Rankshin to Shukan. But I think they will. They've been kind of pushing this way towards us. They don't seem too interested in going, for example, this way yet.
We have claimed a new world.
Maybe they will later, but for now they don't seem interested in that. So let's go ahead and constructionate down here. That'll be fine. I am looking forward to playing the StarCraft campaigns. I gotta be honest. I've never really gotten too far in StarCraft. I've gotten a little further in StarCraft 2. But I'm excited to actually see the storyline. Should be cool. Of course, this is still an unofficial announcement, and as of this point, that is subject to change. But that's my plan as of right now. Until you see a schedule update pop up, it's still unofficial, though. And still subject to change. Fabricator 2! You need something to do. Go grab Sitter. Excellent. Come on, contingency. Is this another planet here? It is. They've got Berga here. Well, if the contingency decides not to push in through those planets...
Our pioneers have made planetfall.
I mean, there's not much we can do. They have to push through Rankshin, and they have to push through Nugon to open up the avenue for us to attack. Well, or they have to push through Nugon. One or the other. They don't have to do both.
Construction complete.
Let's see, that's 493. Okay. Well, that's pretty terrible. Hey, we can go ahead and constructionate over here. Look at that. I like constructionation. So we'll go ahead and do that, and build a starbase in Lezath. Fantastic. Autonomous Cluster 002 is the one in Rankshin. So, yeah, I mean, at what point do we consider giving up on waiting for the contingency to push? Well, the contingency now has borders with the Hive as well. That's pretty solid.
A new world has been
And I mean, the
secured for
longer
our
we wait,
colonists.
the more systems we claim, the more worlds we get. It's not a bad thing to wait. It's just, it feels like I'm doing nothing, but we're not doing nothing. There's no doubt about that. Are you going to bombard this until it's a tomb world? I mean, that's going to take a while. You can. That would be fine. That's a pretty weak autonomous cluster, actually. Where did you take that damage? Who weakened you by 15k? Ooh, they finally took it. They finally took Nugan. Okay. So, Damia, do you have a colony here? You do not. Okay. Everybody, over to Dwitham. It may take a while for them to punch through Rankshin, but they're much, much more likely to hit Damia here, in my opinion. So let's head on over this way. We do officially have borders with them, but we have no crossing here, is the problem. They're one system away over here, and 2 systems away
System
over here.
reconnaissance completed.
So we're very, very close to being able to hit the contingency. Unfortunately, we're also very, very close to the end of this episode. So it looks like we're not going to be taking the fight to the contingency this episode, unfortunately.
Science Division reports
They are,
a new breakthrough.
looks like they're just bombarding that planet. Sector limit +1, that's fine. Ugh.
Construction complete.
Let's take Empire Leader capacity. I don't like it, but let's do it. Well, they're sending this army to the Rankshan system. Maybe they're going to punch through over there too. Let's go ahead and have this fleet. Let's go back to our previous setup. One fleet at each side. We don't know which way they're going to go first. But I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here after we tell the Fabricator 6 to fabricate things. There you go. Build research stations, build mining stations, then come out this way. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and put that cut in here. And next episode, hopefully the contingency will give us a way in. See you all then.